I usually put the trailer before the show, but the trailer for this movie really sucks, so I'll just do a quick reenactment. Oh no, a log. Oh my god, that's gonna get us. Thanks,
Welcome
bye.
to Movie the Podcast. That's right, Movie the Podcast. It is the very first week of Final December Nation. We watched my pick, which was Final Destination 2, and I was telling TJ, a bit of a surprise. Final Destination 2 stuck with me so much that I wrote a page-and-a-half essay on Final Destination 2.
All right.
I'm happy to share either when I do my Five Knuckle Shuffles or prior to or post the synopsis of the film. Like, I couldn't help but think of it.
All could have randomly picked a Final Destination, had a conversation about it, not known that we all hadn't watched the same movie.
I feel like these are all going to be pretty similar. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, we watched Final Destination 2. So.
Yeah, we did. It's going to be an interesting month. I'll say that.
Oh, it's going to be. I don't know how this month's going to turn out, but it's going to be this first week. I ain't mad at this first week.
Yeah, I we'll get into it, but I don't know. I mean, it was something. It was definitely. I think it. Go ahead, Sean.
Welcome back to the turlet. Like, this movie is bad.
See, I'm surprised that after you're so TJ and I were talking about. Well, we'll get into it.
We'll talk about my problems with the movie specifically. Like, I mean, that's what we do, right?
That is that's the general idea of the show.
Problem singular.
Yeah. Oh no, there's definitely many problems. Anyway, let's get into what we watched this week. Alec.
I watched two things.
Two things?
Thank you.
One of the things was Shrek 3, the third one.
I remember liking that one.
That's not very good.
No,
I mean it's still good, like compared to most animated movies, but it doesn't hold up to the first two. It definitely doesn't hold up to the second one. The second one is the best one, in my opinion. Yeah, there's a fourth one with Rumpelstiltskin as the bad guy.
I don't think.
What's the third? What's the crux of the third one? I get the third and the second one mixed up.
The third one is they have to get King Arthur to be the rightful heir to the kingdom because the king dies.
I don't think I've ever seen the third one, though.
Justin Timberlake plays Arthur.
JT.
I think I must have only seen the first two.
I mean, that's really all you need to see. The other ones are okay, but the first two
How
are the
many
best
more
ones.
are there?
There's 4, plus there's all kinds of holiday specials and stuff like that.
Right.
Like, I don't know if they're full feature length.
The Shrek movies always...
There's a whole bunch of them.
Like, Mike Myers is prolific. Like, I always forget that he's the voice of Shrek. Like, he's got so many movies under his belt.
I'm surprised that that's a property they haven't tried to relaunch.
Well, when's the last one that came out? It wasn't that long ago, was it? Shrek 5 is...
That was Shrek. I think the last one was
Shrek 5 is to be determined. No, they have an option. They have something for it, and there's no release date yet.
So when did 4 come out?
4 came out in 2010. So that's been 11 years now.
It's a long time.
So that's been a while. But the article about Shrek 5 came out in July 27th, 2021. So
2021. Jesus Christ.
What the hell? What are we doing?
Sorry, July 27th, 2021. 7/27/21.
I'm looking at this beer, and it doesn't expire until March of 28/22. And I don't know why, but that just blew my mind.
Future-proof beer.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Are you sure it's not 2/8/22?
Yeah, that's probably February 8th, not the year. Not different 800 years.
You're probably right.
Wait 800 years and see if it's fresh, and then we'll figure it out.
We live in the year 3000 in this bitch.
I mean, it is Miller Lite, so God only knows.
It's just barely been skunked at that point.
Right.
It's just piss water no matter what.
Taste the difference.
Well, yeah, because Gogs has High Life in his fridge from 10 years ago still, and every now and then one of those gets cracked open.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you supposed to age champagne?
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
That's right.
Oh, it's a delightful 2010
vintage
highlight.
You want that aluminum taste of opening a can that's 8 years old. Like you roll the. I don't drink beer. You roll the dice in this house. What can I say? All the beer that's in this house, either Alec or TJ brought over.
That's true.
It's not even my property.
The other thing I watched was the seminal holiday classic, Jingle All the Way.
Hell
yeah.
That movie is tremendous.
That movie gets better every year that I watch it.
I think the opinion in general on that movie has changed because, like, I don't think anybody liked it. Now I feel like everybody kind of gets it a little bit more.
Yeah, that movie's great.
It got dragged forever.
That movie is insane. The last act of that movie is just absolute insanity. The things that they do in this universe.
Like they made Arnold Schwarzenegger. They made Turbo Man a legit like Stark Tech level like super suit for a fucking.
They made him a fighting suit.
There's organized crime.
It's
a lot like
villain. The villain has a hand. The villain in the TV show has a hand that detaches. So when Sinbad puts on this suit, he actually detaches his hand too, and attacks and hits Arnold Schwarzenegger with it.
Well,
so you're telling me
that's actually what Sinbad would do in real life.
Well, and I thought to myself, it was probably like a fake hand on the suit altogether because somebody else was supposed to wear it. But no, when the hand returns, he like gives them he puts his like thumb on his nose and does the like na 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 thing. So he's still controlling the hand.
No,
it makes no sense.
The implications of Jingle All the Way.
He loses control of the jetpack, and he flies as high as Tony Stark did in Iron Man 1 when he iced up. Like he can see the curvature of the Earth from how high he is, and he's just screaming like ah.
What is Schwarzenegger's job? He's like a mattress salesman.
He's a mattress salesman. Yeah. Don't forget, you're my favorite customer.
Does anybody remember that X-Force like hero possibly that like shot his hand off?
Yeah, Kane.
Kane. Yeah,
he was one of the Weapon X before it was Weapon 10. Yeah, he had like a tunic that only came to his midriff.
Yes,
and cyborg appendages, I believe. He had like his metal cable appendages.
I had his action figure, and his little hands sprung out. That was his whole thing.
It must have been one of the ones that was on the shelf at KB Toys for like years.
Absolutely.
And finally, somebody saw, oh, it's an XMen toy. I'll get that for TJ.
Yep, that's exactly what it was.
I believe it was a Toy Biz X-Force action figure, if I recall.
It was.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, Jingle All the Way rocks.
It is absolutely insane.
What doesn't rock is Jingle All the Way.
Jake Lloyd's best performance, I think.
I mean, yeah, out of like both of them.
Yeah.
And he's terrible in this too.
Yeah.
He does have a great line though, where the neighbor kid, who's Phil Hartman's kid, and Phil Hartman is just perfect in this. He's so good.
Yeah, really
the neighbor kid get a live reindeer, and he names the live reindeer Ted after his dad. So Jake Lloyd takes a phone call from Arnold, and Arnold says, "Where's your mother?" And Jake Lloyd just like, "Oh, he's over petting Ted." And Arnold loses his shit. He breaks into Phil Hartman's house to attempt to steal his toy. Oh yeah, the whole premise for the movie is it's basically like a Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah.
Christmas thing. It's like the toy of the year. It was sold out for months. People are going insane for it.
Chris Parnell has like great, like snarky, like toy salesman scene.
Chris Parnell is in the movie?
Barely.
He's in it for like a second. There's a scene in a warehouse full of Santa Clauses who are defrauding people by selling them the Mexican Turbo Man doll. Which has Jim Belushi in it. It has the midget from Seinfeld, Kramer's.
Oh, that guy's great. Yeah.
Friend. I can't remember his name.
That guy's
Vern Troyer and the Big Show.
No shit.
The Big Show shows up.
The Big Show shows up as a gigantic Santa Claus.
He's like the heavy of the Santa Claus Mafia.
Yeah, this movie is absolutely ridiculous, and I love it so much. And maybe my favorite thing about it was when Conan, much like Paul Rudd pranks him with the Mac and Me clips.
Oh, that's right.
Conan used to have the celebrity lip reading thing where they would do the mouth over the face. And he, for like a year and a half, would have Arnold on like every other month doing fake interviews, and all Arnold would talk about is Jingle All the Way. It was so funny. It's great holiday classic.
I miss.
Does he have like a thoroughly average-looking wife in that movie? I can't recall. I haven't seen it.
It's Tom Hanks' hot wife.
It's Rita Wilson.
Hold on, hot. Rita Wilson is hot.
I think I'm into Rita Wilson.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, and also Jingle All the Way is potentially the first stinger in the history of movies.
What? Holy shit!
Because there's a post-credit scene where Arnold and his wife are in their house after the kid has gone to bed Christmas night, and she's like smiling. He's like, "What are you smiling at?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm just imagining if you went through all of that to get a toy for our kid, imagine what you did for me." And then it basically does like the Home Alone.
Oh shit!
Slap the cheeks face to Arnold. He's just like, didn't get his wife a gift for Christmas.
I don't think I ever watched that movie.
You have to wait through the entire credits to get. It's not like after like they list the actors' names, they have a scene. You got to wait through like 5 minutes of credits to get there.
I had absolutely no idea how to post-credit scene.
You got to see the Teamsters logo.
How did you come across that? Did you read that it had one or?
Yeah, I read on like IMDb's trivia or something.
I thought you were in some kind of like
it had a post credit scene.
I thought you were in some kind of like fantasy film production league, to pick a key grip.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, best boy. Hey, I'll trade you 3 best boys for 2 catering managers.
No, I need a transportation director, or I'm fucking out of the playoffs.
All right. Anything else, Al?
That is it. The new episode of Hawkeye is still really good.
Need to watch.
I
need to watch the whole thing.
Hawkeye is good. I mean, at this point, you might want to just wait. There's only 3 more episodes.
Yeah.
Just wait till it's all out so you can watch it all at once, like over Christmas.
Yeah, I'm gonna just binge it at Christmas.
Sean.
I watched one thing.
One thing.
Thank you. Well, I also watched that 30-second Into the Spider-Verse 2 teaser, and I'm way in on that. Like, it's funny how I'm so disappointed with those kind of movies, and then that pops up like, ooh,
Spider-Man 2099, dude.
Yeah,
it looks awesome.
So superhero movies, I watched Bryan Singer's XMen, the original one.
Oh, how's that?
That movie sucks. It is bad. I know how excited we were. I know I was. I didn't know you guys then, I don't think. Or maybe I just met you. It was 99. And, the choice to go with, the new X-Men, the Grant Morrison leather jackets, I get why they did it, but it makes them look even goofier.
Yeah.
For some reason than the actual uniforms. The Cyclops visor design is atrocious, and I get that he has to touch the side of it for normos to realize he's using his lasers because they can't just see lasers coming out of his eyes. But how did that happen?
Yeah.
But that script is awful.
What I always remember is how bad the action is. Bryan Singer's a really poor action director.
Yeah, the only action, there's a decent action sequence in X-Men 2. Well, I guess 2, but I bet you a second unit person did it.
2 is the opening scene
that's great.
Nightcrawler, and when Wolverine goes ham,
and when Wolverine goes nuts in defending the mansion's great.
I think that the thing that holds together those movies is the cast. I mean, Patrick.
The best scene in X-Men is the first scene, the fucking Auschwitz flashback.
Yeah,
and then it's just downhill. Anna Paquin is cancer. She's the fucking worst. There's everybody remembers the terrible the one line from Joss Whedon's draft that made it in, the what happens if Toad struck by lightning. But there's an even worse, I don't know if it's the lines or just the delivery when Hugh Jackman says to Patrick Stewart, "What's a Magneto?" and he says, "What's a Magneto?" and Patrick Stewart goes, "A very powerful mutant." It's just fucking bad. And I know they made it on the cheap, but everything's super dark. It's a bad. I'm shocked that movie got a sequel, honestly. Like, I guess everybody just so starved for something like that.
It made a gajillion dollars. It was a huge hit.
But it's really bad. Like, it's like borderline unwatchable. Like the fucking Tyler, what's his face, is Sabretooth just grunting around. Like, I know we make the Senator Kelly joke.
Tyler Mane, I believe is his name.
But wasn't that the first Mane. Wasn't that like the first successful Marvel movie though?
Well, Blade was before that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that people knew was a Marvel. Like, I saw Blade and didn't know it was a Marvel movie. Like, I knew this was a Marvel movie.
X-Men come out before Spider-Man?
That's what I was just about to ask you. I think,
It came like a year before.
Oh, I mean, the original Spider-Man is like fucking Stalker compared to
because I think X-Men. I think X-Men was in 2000 and Spider-Man was in 2001, I believe.
There's a lot of discourse that the Raimi Spider-Mans don't hold up, but I think they do. I mean, they're intentionally kind of corny.
Well, the second one I still think is great. Like, I love the second one. The first one, it's like Batman Begins. It's perfectly cromulent, and the third one's fun. It's not like. I think I have more affection for the third one just because we've seen it on so many like worst movies of all time lists.
Yeah,
and it's hey, did you see Chain Reaction?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like the second one also has the really stupid scene where he like kind of lost his powers a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And like Doc Ock is like stomping towards him or stomping away.
I hate that.
And him putting his glasses on helps him hear better.
Yeah,
like he takes his glasses off and like the sound gets all fuzzy too, along with his vision.
Also,
I thought that's why you guys all had.
Even then, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah. I thought that's legit why you guys all had better hearing than I did.
Because we all wear glasses.
Yeah. Also, that movie, actually, in all of the Raimi movies, and like I know it's because they do it in the new movies too, but it's like I don't know why it doesn't bother me as much now, but like. His mask is like always ripped off. It's like goddamn, like it's like Spider-Man in a lot of ways is like a Judge Dredd, where his fucking mask was like never off when he was Spider-Man, and it's like they can't fucking help but get his fucking mask off.
I will accept him pulling it up to eat a large sandwich from a delicatessen or something
fine.
like.
Yeah, that's fine. They cover it. He's still covered.
But anyway. No, I would not recommend going back to X-Men.
And the like Senator Kelly effect.
Oh yeah, we talk about that a lot.
I'm glad it exists because it's a great point of reference for things. But yeah, that movie's like
did he just turn into liquid or like
turned into like his goop?
But then he became like a fishman with like fucking gills or something.
Yeah, like but then I mean, I don't understand the goop that I don't know that whole fucking MacGuffin of like using her to power the thing because it make everybody a mutant. It's almost like that. Was it that Avengers X-Men series where they dropped those Terrigen mist bombs to mutate everybody later on?
God, and that fucking storyline had his tendrils in Marvel for years.
Yeah,
that shit was awful.
But yeah, and you can blame Solid Snake, I guess, for that script. Although, who knows what version? Because I think that's another movie that had like 58 drafts. But David Hayter is credited as the screenwriter for that movie.
Yeah, but he's like you just said, he's one of those guys. Apparently, he's written a bunch of scripts, but he's always like the first writer on a project.
Yeah, I'd love to see his Watchman script because apparently it was like updated and changed a whole bunch of shit. So I'd be curious what that's about.
I just saw his name pop up on something. He's involved with some new project now, which is like I don't know. He seems like a really cool guy, so I just want him to continue to get work.
Yeah, I think Halo's a pretty cool guy. He kills alien and doesn't afraid of anything.
Yeah.
TJ.
I watched one and a half things. I rewatched all of the cartoon Cowboy Bebop because it's great, and I was really hungover Saturday, so I just watched the entire thing, which doesn't take you very long because it's only 24 episodes and they're 20 minutes apiece, so you get through it pretty quick. But the only movie I watched is something that may end up being my this year because I enjoyed it so much. I watched Vinegar Syndrome's New York Ninja. Okay, so let me explain. So this is a movie. I don't know if this has ever happened before. Vinegar Syndrome is they're like a fright,
like a Vestron or like a fucking what do you call it? Like a niche horror distributor.
What's the one, Sean, that I was thinking of? Scream Factory? Yeah, Scream Factory is the one I was thinking. They're like a Scream Factory or a Criterion. They are a distribution company. They put out a lot of niche horror and grindhouse type movies. But in this case, they found a film that was produced in 1984 that was completely finished. All the like shooting was finished. The film was basically done, but it had no audio. They got the rights to it, and they redubbed everything, and they didn't have an original script, so they rewrote the whole movie. Apparently,
this isn't just like Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
No. They shot it. They tried to keep their goal. If I had the disc, which I'm going to order now, there's a documentary on the making of, because I really want to know about the making of process to this movie. They tried to keep it as true to now. Granted, this is a cheesy fucking movie from 1984, so it's goofy as all hell. But they tried
like a
to
canon movie, kind of.
Yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. They tried to keep it close to the spirit of what the original was supposed to be. And it is so much fucking fun. I loved it. It's so fucking stupid and like ridiculous. Like it like starts out with like a title card that's like, you know, in New York in the 80s, like drug fueled punks are abducting women and can't be stopped.
Out like bad dudes.
Yeah, no, it's absurd. And then, like, this guy's, like, wife is, like, stabbed and murdered, and then he decides to become the New York Ninja, but, like, his ninja outfit is all white, and he's never in the cover of darkness, which is, like, something a ninja should be. At one point, he's on roller skates. It's amazing. He has, like, one move, which is, like, this kick where he kind of holds his leg out and then kicks you again. It's so good. I loved it. It's hilarious. The villain is like a radioactive CIA pimp whose weakness is light. But again, the whole movie takes place during the day, so it makes absolutely no sense. But like at one point, the ninja like uses his sword to like reflect light in his eyes, and he's like, I fucking love this movie though. It is so fucking ridiculously bad, but it's like it's hilarious. Like it's kind of has Who Killed Captain Alex vibes, because like you can tell the people that made this like really thought they had earnest. Something. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's nothing cynical about this movie. And even, I would say, even the efforts to restore it, I wouldn't say are cynical. I mean, like, you can tell.
Did they, like, get in touch with somebody that made the movie to kind of find out what the plot was supposed to be? Or, you said they tried to keep it as close, or did they just try and glean from what actually happened when they watched it?
It's just all from context? Like, what if stuff's supposed to happen off screen that you can't hear?
I don't know. I don't have answers to that because, again, I got this through nefarious ways, and I don't have the full disc experience, but I am going to order it.
Is the New York Ninja like an actual position, like controller? Or
like he decided to run for that?
A New York Ninja? Like a Buffy type thing?
At the end of the movie, they say the New York Ninja will return in LA Ninja, and God, I hope they make another one, because it's so good. I fucking love this movie. There's a part, I mean, spoilers, whatever. There's a part where he's fighting the main villain at the end, and he flies away on a helicopter. And again, the entire movie's dubbed. So, like, there's the ninja throws this thing, and you don't know what the fuck it is, in the helicopter, and then you see the pan shot of the helicopter flying away, and you're the villain go, what is that, a bomb? And then the helicopter explodes.
What's this, some kind of bomb?
So then, like, the New York Ninja uses these fucking, like, balls of flour to, like, fucking, like, I don't know, distract people, but he just kind of throws it in their face, and they're like, oh! Like, I can't recommend.
He's like antiquing them. Like, what is going on? You
gotta watch this fucking movie. It's so good. I love it.
So was there? When you say there's no audio, that means like nothing, like no sound effects, no ambient sound. It was just they just had.
Well, Gogs, let me regale you on filmmaking, especially in that era. Like,
well, they got to roll sound. They got to roll film.
Was it a single track recording? Do you think?
I don't think they recorded any sound. Sean, you know this, but like a lot of those cheap movies from like the 70s and 80s, they would put in the sound after the fact, after distribution.
They didn't even bother getting
Well, yeah,
sound.
like look at like spaghetti westerns. Like all that shit was done way after the fact.
Well, yeah, but that was in a different language. I would assume there was at least like one microphone, and it was like a single track recording that they lost because like they would have had.
We lost Alec.
Well, he's probably bored, but like, I would assume like unless it was a foreign production, and then they were just going to roll everything in ADR, which is why like. You brought it up, like when you watch a lot of those movies, like the sound effects mastering is like 10 times louder than anything else, or the music things or whatever, because they're not mixed. It's just like tracks laid on top of each other.
Well, the lead actor is Asian, so I wouldn't be like I don't mean to sound like that sounds awful, but I wouldn't be surprised if they made this and they were like, we can distribute this to like foreign markets easier. So like, you know what I mean? They probably did the spaghetti western thing. I'm going to make it like I'm going to order the full set because also the artwork and Vinegar Syndrome does a great job with their packaging.
Yeah, but are there another one like Arrow, right, where it's like everything's like $48?
Yeah, it's kind of. I think it's $35, but I still like. I really want to see this documentary. I love the movie. It's on the Plex. I highly recommend it. I had so much fun watching it. Like I thought it was great. It's really fucking stupid, but like it's so much fun. When you see the fucking ninja, like he's got roller skates. And that's just like he's like stopping a woman that's getting her purse robbed, and he's like on his roller skates. But then when he has to fight, his roller skates are magically gone because he's got to kick, and he can't kick with the roller skates.
How's the karate?
Oh, it's awful.
Okay.
And the guy has like two moves. He can do like he's pretty good at kicking. Like he can do like spin kicks, and he can do that thing that like Van Damme used to do all the time, where he'd like hold his leg out. You know what I'm talking about, Sean?
Like the pause kick, like he throws it out there and it's just gonna
and that he does that really well. And the stunt people are like trying their best to like sell it, but like it's real, but it's bad in like the funniest way possible. Like I loved it. This is one of the most pleasant movie experience. I really want to watch this in a room full of a lot of people because it's got that kind of vibe. Like I feel like this is like a movie that I think if more people saw, like people would talk about it quite a bit. And the
like
fact that it got, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say like a Miami Connection kind of thing.
It gave me a big Miami Connection kind of vibe. Yeah. And the fact that this is like completely restored is like wild to me. The fact that this movie was done and someone just scrapped it completely, does that happen? That seems so weird to me.
Maybe the ninja market had crashed by the time they were getting ready to release it.
It was
like 84, right?
But like
it was 84. It went with the video game market.
The whole time I'm thinking about this, and like somebody spent like they didn't spend nothing on this movie. You know what I mean? Like the production costs or something. Like it's crazy that they finished it and they're like, fuck it. Like that, it's nuts. But anyway, highly recommend it. I loved it to death. So that's all I watched. Also, like I said, Cowboy Bebop. It's fantastic. It's all on Netflix now. Highly recommend it. You got a day to waste. Burn through all 24 episodes. You won't regret it. Gogs.
I watched three things. I rewatched. I watched The Man Who Invented Christmas again because I love it. And it's got Dan Stevens, and it turns out that the lead, his wife, in the movie is Maud from Saint Maud, which I realized this time around.
Shit.
Yeah. You know, I have a hard on for the Christmas
slightly darker movie than
slightly darker. Like as I was watching it with Liz, I was like, she's really good in Saint Maud. You wouldn't like Saint Maud, but she's really good in Saint Maud.
Saint Maud is awesome.
So then I got on sort of last week I got on that kick and I watched 3 Paul Verhoeven movies. So this week I watched 2 David Fincher movies. One I'd seen before and one I had. I rewatched Seven for the first time in a long time, and it's like a very it's almost got like that like new metal like horror movie vibe, but it's like not bad. It's still really good.
Does that jump scare still work on you? Because I think the last time I watched it, it still got me, even though I knew it was coming.
Wait, which jump scare?
The air freshener apartment scene.
Oh yeah. No, I saw it coming a mile away, and it still got me. Yeah, well, I was like, that guy's still alive, right? And then boom.
We talked about this a little bit though, like off air. But like that movie is a little bit like everything bit off that movie. So like the
like Saw bit off of that movie,
and like all those like new metal horror movies, they bit real heavy off Seven. Like no doubt.
And there's some interesting stuff like that town is never named. Like it's not New York, it's not L.A. It's just like the town. Like Kevin Spacey's great in it when we could still like Kevin Spacey. Brad Pitt. I was texting Sean like Brad Pitt is just Bill Paxton from Predator 2.
That was like the most poignant thing anybody's ever said that never would have occurred to me until you said it, and then it was like, oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Morgan Freeman's tremendous in it. Like it's such a good movie. It's like so well done.
Even
and
Gwyneth Paltrow, or is it
Gwyneth Paltrow's great? Yeah, she's great in it. Fucking R. Lee Ermey's great in it. Like, there's a bunch of people that you're... Fucking Richard Roundtree's in it as the fucking DA.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And, it's great. It's dark. The city is always wet and rainy in whatever crime dimension the city takes place in.
I thought it was supposed to be L.A., and that was, what made it fantastical was that it was raining all the time. I thought there was some kind of, I don't know if it was a direct reference in the movie or something I read that it's supposed to be Los Angeles.
I looked it up. I was like, what city does this take place? It's it's an unnamed city. Like, they shot it in Los Angeles.
Okay.
But, the idea was that it wasn't any specific city. But anyway, fucking Seven still holds up. I hadn't watched it in a very long time. I was nervous it wouldn't hold up, but it did. And then I watched a Fincher movie I had never seen before, Gone Girl, with
another good one.
Yeah, that movie's fucking twisted. I didn't know what it was about. I had no idea what it was about. I had no idea where it was going to go. So that was refreshing. Somehow I avoided spoilers for a movie that was 12 years old.
I think the only thing I know about that movie is it's another one of those movies where somebody from Boston refused to wear a Yankees hat. It seems to happen in every movie.
Oh yeah.
No, he puts a Mets hat on at some point.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be a Yankees hat.
That makes sense. What's interesting about that movie is did Ben Affleck, that's it. Did he recently win Sexiest Man Alive or something? Because one of the interesting subplots of that movie is everyone wants to bang Ben Affleck, and he's got this kind of John Hamm-esque magnetism, and maybe Affleck just doesn't do it for me like that.
Was he with Jennifer Lopez at the time? Because they were fucking everywhere.
I think he was with Jennifer Garner at the time.
He was with Jennifer. I don't know.
But he actually that movie is kind of crazy. Well, it's not. I guess it's not that crazy, but that movie's about his infidelity, and then that's the rumored what broke him and Jennifer Garner up. So.
Yeah. But
Ben also get to see that what's that girl's name?
Emily Ratajkowski. I can't say her last name. The chick from the Blurred Lines video.
Get to see her tremendous cans in that movie.
She's not bad in it. Ben Affleck's real good in it. Rosamund Pike's really good in it. Tyler Perry is real good in it. Was
who'd have thought
blown away.
Tyler Perry's been good in other stuff.
I mean, I don't. To be fair, I don't think I've watched enough of his stuff, so I've always seen him. Go ahead,
Medea's Halloween is tremendous.
Good nerd.
Spooktacular, I believe that movie is called. Yeah,
he's not good in Alex Cross. I saw that.
That's what I was going to bring up.
He's the admiral in Starfleet and the Star Trek movies.
That's right. I forgot about that.
He's the Emperor of Space or whatever. But yeah, it's. I've never really seen him in much else, but I thought he was. I was really impressed. Yeah, I've never seen a Medea movie, but I think I just wrote it off. Yeah.
Yeah, give me Medea's God Emperor of Doom. That's the movie I want.
Yeah.
Nerd. I'm on the Gordon path.
Yeah. But that movie is Gone Girl's super horny. It's insanely horny.
I think it was a movie that women of a certain age were diddling themselves to, even though it's about somebody killing their wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of
Sean, have you seen it?
No, didn't it come out around the same time? The Jinx was really popular too, when that story was super huge again.
Yeah.
Gone Girl was from 2014. Oh, and. Actually, before we get that's all I watched. But I'm jumping back to Seven for half a second. There's an interesting moment in Seven, right before they take Kevin Spacey out to the desert or wherever for his final little act of his 7-act play. And they're strapping up, and they're strapping up with wires with actual like reel-to-reel tape on it. And I was like, oh, how quaint! Like nowadays, like it's like a legit like tape recorder strapped to them, and I don't know why, because I'm just in the world of digital recording devices everywhere and being so microscopic, it's sort of. I
assume it's for liability purposes. Is like it's probably harder to fake like an actual physical like a DAT tape than it is.
I don't think that did they have that back in like 7 came out in 1995. Did they have?
They at least had micro cassettes.
I always that scene where Kevin Spacey shows up at the police precinct with his fucking fingernails or his finger like tips cut off. Like there's so many like. Gogs, we were talking about how it influenced like the new metal hard thing, but it influenced fucking everything. Like video games and like any kind of like thing that was like went for that like dark, edgy aesthetic. Like I think about it now and it's just like, what a fucking great movie. Like God,
I'm just really happy. I'm just happy it held up. That's all.
Also, hot take. Guilty by Gravity Kills, fantastic song.
That is a good song. I can't name a second Gravity Kills song, and I actually forgot that was a Gravity Kills.
No one can.
And I thought that was 9 Inch Nails up until you just said it was Gravity Kills.
No, Gravity Kills, that song is fucking awesome. Guilty, great song. Also great for that movie. All right, let's get into our feature presentation. Gogs, do you want to go ahead and do your essay, I guess? Is your essay go over the film? Can we just draw that as your synopsis?
I mean, there's not as much. It goes over it on a base level, but we can talk. There's no what's to go over, right?
Is this going to be some kind of weird, like, John Updike internal reflection because of the movie?
No, it's just here. I'll go through it.
Sean, and then we can. What's that guy that we like that they made fun of on Documentary Now? The monologue guy.
Spalding Gray.
Spalding Gray.
Well, I said so many thoughts about this movie. I had to
Gog's free associated so hard he shit his pants.
I literally had so many thoughts. I had to like put them down on paper, and then once I started putting them down on paper, it's like, well, here we go.
Okay, let me do like a quick run over the movie just so everybody knows. Okay, so a bunch of kids are going to do something very 90s. Like, there's one of them smoking weed, one of them's like a weirdo, one of them's a slut.
I believe it's spring break.
Sure. And one of them has a premonition that a big accident's going to happen. So she freaks out, stops the car, the big accident happens, and then the Grim Reaper has to kill them all in reverse order of where they were killed, which is a big reveal that Allie Larder gives because they're supposed to be killed in, like, linear order, but whatever. Yeah. And then they run into Tony Todd, who tells them that unexpected life will be the cure for the Grim Reaper killing everybody, which makes zero sense in context. And so they have to kidnap a woman and force her to give birth. And then it turns out that she wasn't supposed to die, so they have to take the most reckless plan in human history to save 2 people by drowning somebody and then bringing them back to life. And then a kid explodes in the barbecue. That's the movie.
That's kid correct. Exploding in the barbecue is the best part of the movie. And the
whole movie's the best part of the movie.
I guess I won't like bury the lead. Like, I love all the gore shit, but because
it's so funny.
It's so over the top, it reads as like hysterical. And this is supposed to be a horror movie, so it's super incongruent. It's like Turbo Kid levels of splatter in some parts.
Oh yeah, and that kid gets killed by the glass pane.
Yeah, here, let me go through the.
Okay, go.
Let me go through the thing.
Go ahead.
Final Destination 2 by Gogs.
Papist.
2003's Final Destination 2 is a standards-defying masterpiece that may be beyond the scope of conventional film criticism. The movie is absolute pablum, yet it's
white.
Just let me get through it. The movie is absolute pablum, yet it sticks with you in a way that far superior films do not. I saw this film in the theater without seeing the original, but the movie is so impossibly base level that knowledge of what happened in the previous film is simply not required. The entire first film is explained away in a series of news reports in the background as the movie opens and is continually referenced over the course of the film, but none of that really matters. Once the wheels get rolling on this film, both literally and figuratively, it's just lights and sounds and blood and kaboom. The amount of car and consumer product explosions in this film would give Ralph Nader a hard-on. This This movie takes turns and makes decisions that defy all conventional logic. Why would the police take into the station all the people that were stuck on the on-ramp? Why would the police further know how to find a woman and her son at a dentist downtown? What was Tony Todd doing, God love him? How could anyone make a connection between a wiry shadow and a man with hooks? And where the hell was that guy going with all those prosthetic arms in a residential building? Why would Ali Larder suddenly come out of her death-proof seclusion to help these strangers? Does she have a score to settle against fate? Because that didn't work out. And why the hell does the main character get these visions of the future? Is there another force out there trying to keep death from happening? And to what end? And why does her own vision betray her with the non-death of the pregnant lady? The camera frequently goes full Sherlock Holmes observation mode, as every kill is like a mini Ocean's 11 heist setup. Not since Wishmaster has this much irony and circumstance caused death. At the end of the film, the last girl and the dime store Freddie Prinze Jr. love interest cop who won against death, presumably now a whole summer has passed and death or fate or whatever has bided its time until these survivors are inexplicably invited to a cookout at the farm where the climax of the film takes place, at which point fate springs its trap by having the farmer's teenage son explode while flipping burgers because he was supposed to die, but the cop saved him. Yet death was like, I'll wait till the whole gang gets together because reasons. It drives home the question. It drives home the question, what in the actual fuck are we watching and what complete psychopath is telling this tale? And the answer, who the fuck knows? And it doesn't matter because fuck it. We're living in the moment and the kills are ass over tits bonkers. A kid gets folded up like a beach chair made of meat by a pane of curtained glass for crying out loud. Budget Josh Hartnett gets trisected by flying barbed wire fence like a hard-boiled egg in one of those mesh guillotines. The last thing to cross not Thora Birch's mind is a PVC javelin as her skull gets punched backwards by the combination of the world's
not Thora Birch,
right? By the world's worst first responder and a clearly defective airbag. A more serious film would try and say something about the frailty of life or how we never know when our time is coming or to savor the pressure moments on Earth. Like if you knew the end was coming, what would you do? Please hear a review of these final hours. This movie absolutely does not give a fuck. All this spectacle happens with absolutely no subtext. There's no character growth. There's no message here. All we have are the most basic early 2000s tropes and archetypes getting got in rapid succession. This movie is iceberg lettuce with ranch dressing on it. It's crunchy, it's tasty, and it offers absolutely no nutritional value. In the end, the audience leaves the experience gaining absolutely nothing, possibly losing something, and yet it is utterly entertaining and stays with you. I saw this movie 2 decades ago and still get freaked out when I get behind a log truck on a highway. That has to mean something. This movie is full tilt. George W. Bush, lean into it stupid. It makes every wrong choice, and it's better for it. It is flawlessly flawed and is an absolute triumph that logic demands should not exist.
Very nice. Very nice.
Final Destination, more like final best film in the nation.
Oh, hey, Rex.
Yeah.
I almost called you Rex Ryan.
He does love feet.
Noted film critic Rex Ryan.
I'd love to know Rex Ryan's take on Final Destination 2.
I don't know. I don't want to know what that guy likes movie-wise. It's got to be weird.
He likes Quentin Tarantino movies.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of Tarantino films.
Didn't he have, doesn't his wife have a tattoo of Mark Sanchez, on her or something weird?
I thought it was like a linebacker or something.
I can't remember. Why I'm surprised that guy's not back in the league.
Sanchez?
No, he's
Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan. Sanchez is like a commentator now, so he's probably making that fat paycheck.
Why does Ali Larder have a security monitor in her own cell?
Yeah.
She's got... who's paying those bills? She's self-admitted.
There's so many whys. Okay, so...
Ali Larder lives in Canada.
The film... The event that happened before this was fairly recent, right? Within a couple years.
A year ago. They said it was the 1 year anniversary.
Okay, so am I to understand that psychics are awakening all over the world now? How often is this happening? It's got to happen pretty regularly, I would assume.
Well, it happens at least 5 times.
No, but I mean, yeah, so at least 5 times. You would presume that these aren't the only 5 death psychics in the world. So shouldn't this kind of Rube Goldberg-esque murder list be going on constantly in the world somewhere?
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
That's how people die. Rube Goldberg stuff.
Also, Bill Goldberg stuff. He jackhammers you until you die. Also, did anybody watch this and were you thinking, man, I wish I was watching The Dead Zone because that movie was so much fun. Where fucking what's his name calling in the nuclear alarm codes.
If you had cut all the narrative parts of this out and replaced it with The Dead Zone, but kept all the splatter shit, it might be the best movie ever made. I get why you would enjoy this. But it is fucking every tendon in the movie is fucking unwatchable.
So I'm shocked. So I'm surprised about your take on this, given your love of Venom, because I feel like this is as dumb as those movies are. Well, I haven't seen the first one.
Funny, the only thing that's funny are the fucking gore.
Fuck with it. I was so funny.
But no, I'm saying
the only hilarious.
The only parts I thought were funny were the kills, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I didn't find. Yeah,
but here's the thing, though:
all the dumbass jumps in logic, all the dumb shit that comes out of their mouth is just stupid as hell.
But the kills also happen. The kills happen also so fast. There's no time in between the kills.
No, it's great. It's right. It's like a kill per every 5 minutes from the time that the first accident ends.
And you can see all these. You can see all these characters die twice. You get 2 kills for every person.
Also, this reminded me. We've referred to this a bunch, but I remember there was an article a million years ago that talked about Trump's favorite movies and how he finds Bloodsport boring and fast forwards all the fights. This movie.
He's not wrong. Have you watched Bloodsport recently?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, all the non-fighting parts are awful.
I
have a question. Was this anyone else's? This was not my first viewing of this. Was this anyone's initial viewing of this?
I'd never seen it.
Yeah, this is my first time.
This is the only one of these movies I have seen.
Gotcha. But before, so Sean, you'd seen this before. Did the log scene in the beginning stick with you?
Of course,
did you remember
I think
that, right?
I think everybody that's seen this movie has that same reaction to a log truck. It's almost like a cultural touchstone of.
I think anyone that saw the trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, I never saw this movie, but I knew about that log scene.
When that first log goes through that police officer and it just turns into fucking
hysterical.
Cherry pie blowing out the back window.
But I guess my point is they're not I don't think they're making a splatter comedy. They're not trying to make Chopping Mall. They're trying to make an actual horror movie, and it's not scary because the shit that happens to it is fucking insanely hysterical. You know what I mean?
They just fail so completely. It's amazing.
Yeah.
They failed on all 3. It's like if a football team failed in all 3 phases and then their plane crashed afterwards. Shout out Marshall. This is a complete and utter debacle.
I mean, I think it was Alec that said it offline, and he's right. When Ali Larter is the best actor in your movie, you got a lot of problems. And boy.
And your second best actor is Jimmy Olsen from Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman.
Is that?
And really, there's no other
cop,
name.
Not the main cop. The other one. I don't know what about. I'm gonna get somebody.
No, that's the main cop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Jimmy Olsen from that old show. But there's nobody. Looking at the IMDb, nobody else I've even heard of the stuff they've been in.
Tony Todd's the only other actor that I recognized in that entire movie.
Also, what the hell was he doing in this movie?
Popping nipple rings.
I'm assuming he was in the first movie.
Yeah, they just go to his morgue cave.
Yeah, it's Morgue Castle.
Also, this bitch named Clear Rivers. Can we talk about her? For a second. Also, you can tell this movie's bullshit because it's some white business lady constantly smoking Black and Milds, which also has never happened in real life.
I like the and I know it was it never happened, so I guess you could say that it's supposed to be fantastical, but I said it to Gogs, the intro scene, the big death scene, the log scene. I have never I've driven for a long time. I'm 40 years old. I've been driving for a long time. I don't think I've ever looked over at the person next to me when I'm driving on the highway, ever in my history of driving.
I do that. I do that all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I stare them down sometimes.
When you're driving like 70 miles an hour down the road, you do that?
I'm too busy holding my phone in the center of my steering wheel to watch YouTube.
I was going to say the amount of attention I pay when I'm driving quickly is shockingly low.
I guess but I thought it was funny because like everybody's doing something. Like there's a guy doing coke and there's a guy like smoking pot, and he's like, "Oh my god, somebody might see me." It's like, dude, I've like literally never ever paid attention to like anybody on the road besides.
They were acting like the guys smoking pot and doing coke were acting like the RA was on the floor in their dorm and they're gonna bust them just because a cop is right. Like a cop is not. If the cop has the ability to see you do cocaine from 2 cars and 2 lanes away, you're doing too much cocaine.
That guy was doing too much cocaine, though. That guy was doing cocaine at like every possible second he could be doing cocaine.
Did they take mugshots of everybody when they pulled them in the police station? Because why would they have that picture of that woman?
Plant them with tracking devices, because how the fuck did they find them at the dentist's office?
Also, why
Don't you think it would make more sense if they leaned way harder into the psychic shit for all that and just fill all the holes in there?
I don't know. It's fucking amazing. I don't know. This movie's amazing. You know my feelings. So, is there anything more to explore with Final Destination 2? I can't wait for the rest of this month.
I don't think so. Alec, do you have any other closing thoughts before we get into Five Knuckle Shuffle?
No, this director has some filmography though.
He did the first one, right?
As far as this is a different guy.
Oh.
So the guy who did the first one also did like the fourth one or something like that. This guy had directed, I think, it says 8 things, but a couple of them are just like behind the scenes stuff.
Arrival,
his directorial debut, Homeward Bound 2, Lost in San Francisco.
Fuck.
Then he made this. Then he made Cellular.
Why do I know that?
Statham. I don't know what that is. Then he made Snakes on a Plane. Oof. Asylum. I don't know what that is either. The Final Destination, which I think is the last one.
Hell yeah.
And then Shark Night 3D, and then he died.
He accomplished everything.
Came from him like that. Like this was like he'd been avoiding it this whole time, and then he got him. Well, Rip King.
I'm sorry, his name is Rip King?
No, rest in peace, King. You did a great job.
His name is David R. Ellis.
Left his mark.
Look, apparently he worked on Waterworld and did something, because there's
no
a quote
shit.
from him saying Waterworld was the best time of his life.
Wow.
Making the movie was terrible, but he got to stay in Hawaii for 9 months.
Alec, did you get any fun production notes for this movie? You're usually good for those.
Just the garbage ones I just told you about the director.
I'm assuming this movie made $1 billion. Like, it seems like it would have.
It must have cost $50. I mean, like...
He's been the director's actually a stuntman and way more stuff than...
That makes a ton of sense.
He has like 80 stuntman credits, 8 directing credits, 5 or 6 acting credits.
That actually kind of explains the entire movie, that little bit of information that you just pulled up.
Wow.
It's like a fucking Hal, what the fuck is his name? Anyway, that guy, Hal.
So, I just looked up I was looking at Final Destination's box office and then production costs. It made $90 million. I'm trying to see how much it cost. $23 million, so it's a certified hit. But under the Google search of Final Destination 2 box office, people also ask, is Final Destination 2 based on a true story?
Well,
apparently the car crash part is based on some crash from the like 80s or 90s somewhere in Missouri that killed tons of people.
No,
it obviously wasn't as insane as this, but it was it happened in 2002 in Ringgold, Georgia.
125 car pileup.
God damn,
that's a lot of cars. Was it like one of those times where like there was like a quarter of an inch of snow in the south and they just lost their shit?
Oh yeah,
I couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Imagine being the 124th dude. You got to be kind of like asking for it at that point. Like, oh,
Right.
get them going.
Well, you want to check out, basically.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sorry, Alec, you were saying?
There's nothing to talk about.
No, I was just gonna say this movie, like, it's an hour and a half on the dot.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you take credits out, that means I spent under 90 minutes on this movie. So, yay! At least it wasn't 2.5 hours long with the same outcome.
You know how the Gogs thing that we always quote is it's a mile wide and an inch deep.
Yeah.
This is like 2 inches wide and an inch deep. Like there's like nothing to it. It's like a crack
the
in
pond
the
itself
sidewalk.
is on fire for some reason.
Yeah, right. All right, 5 knuckle shuffle time. Alec.
Jesus Christ, it's gonna get a 5.
Oof.
Wow.
Like, by the time this month is over, we're gonna watch at least, I believe, 2 more of these.
2 5s.
And
3 5s, I guess.
Because we got today's the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, the 26th. So one of those is going to be the Moleys. So we got 2 more Final Destination episodes. And by the end of this month, having seen 3 Final Destination movies, I'm not going to be able to tell them apart from each other. They're all going to be exactly the same. They're all going to be like I might remember them as a whole, but we're going to talk about like scenes from each one differently, and I'm going to be arguing over which movie it's from because none of us are going to remember anything except for the tractor trailer or the logging truck.
Mm.
Yeah, this movie sucked, but like the end almost redeemed it. The last like, 10, the last like 10 seconds almost fucking redeemed it when that kid exploded at the grill and his head landed on the table in front of his mom.
You know what is weird, though? Of all these, like, overly complicated gore gags, the one that they fucked up is the simple beheading in the elevator. It's the only one that looks really shitty.
That is true.
Nothing simple about that beheading.
Well, comparatively.
Otis Elevator got real pissed about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a 5 for me. Gods.
It's going to be an 8.
Oh my God.
Christ. Repo Man.
Hell yeah.
Repo Man.
Oh God.
You've heard all my words about this movie. I had an absolute, I don't know if it was because I was rip shit on sushi and Japanese beer and sitting next to TJ and being able to just sort of enjoy it. If I had watched this by myself, it probably would have been something different. But
if you all watched it as drunk as Gogs and I, you all would have loved it.
I had an absolute. I had an absolute. I've left all of my thoughts on the written page, but I had an absolute blast with this movie. Is it terrible? Yes, but it did everything wrong, and it executed how bad it was flawlessly. So it's a fucking 8 for me, dog.
Hell yeah! Fuck yeah! Crazy shit.
Sean?
Oh, sorry. Just Control V Alex review because it's the same exact thing. Like, it's a 5. It's going to be just like Saugus, where it's like, is that the one with the health insurance? Like, no, that's the one where the guy filed his fucking taxes wrong.
Time out. Saugus had Saw fucking 6, which we loved.
Yeah, but we loved it independent to the rest of them.
So who's to say there isn't going to be a Final Destination like that? That's just like totally insane.
We already had
it. Because this could be the best one. So, like, I don't know. I always appreciate a good mooshing in a movie. Like, that was fun. Like, I appreciate the craft of all the gore, but again, it's the movie part of the movie is nothing. Like, I could, honestly, besides Clear Rivers, which is still one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. Like, I want to bag on it more, but I was just watching the 60 Minutes about fucking Reality Winter, or whatever that broad's name was, the Air Force fucking intel officer. But, it's like, I don't know anybody's name. Like, there's, like, psychic powers that it's like, how do you have a movie that's based around psychic powers that's totally uninteresting besides just the fucking Wile E. Coyote death? Like, it's cool that the movie, like, has made itself a verb. Like, I think I've out loud said I'm not trying to get Final Destination here. But, like, it sucks. And, like, yeah, if I'd been drinking Sapporo all day, maybe I would have had a different opinion. But, like, nah, like, it's not. You can just watch the kills on YouTube, and you're out in 8 minutes, and you got everything you needed to from this.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like I didn't appreciate the way you two did. But like,
I don't think anyone could.
Yeah, I enjoy this.
Like
TJ.
Like so, anyone in I don't think anyone in history could. Like I don't understand.
No.
Well. It's a 7 for me, dog. I can't go full 8 like Gogs, but I could not stop laughing. I was uncontrollably laughing at this entire movie. Again, I was annihilated. Gogs and I closed down the local sushi restaurant near his place. But we had like 3 25-ounce beers and then sake, and then sushi is a great meal, but it's not good for soaking up the alcohol. So we were pretty blitz when we watched this movie. But the movie is bad. I am not defending the movie, but like just like Venom 2 last week. I know we didn't review it, but like I watched it last week. I had such a good time at how fucking stupid it was. Like, I could not, like, Gogs had to pause the movie after that kid got hit by the glass pane.
We ran it back 2 times.
Couldn't stop laughing at it, because, like, the whole setup to that scene is so fucking nonsensical. Like, there's, like, pigeons in front of him, and he, like, decides to, like, chase the pigeons, and they're like, there's 2 people going, stop, don't do this, and he's like, what, pigeon? And then he gets, like, mushed by a glass pane. It's fucking hilarious.
Let me ask you real quick, though, both of you.
Yeah.
Would you have laughed one time or been even remotely interesting if all the kills were just like regular, like PG-13 type kills, and the rest of the movie was exactly the same?
No,
yeah,
not at all.
Not.
Okay.
Not at all.
Right.
Also, so we didn't even touch. We didn't even touch on the dude from Living Single and his weird, like, pimp character that was in this movie. Like, he was always dressed, like, very stylish and, like, he's like, I'm not. Yeah, and then he's like, I'm not scared to die, and then he tries to kill himself, which is funny. Like the whole
that guy. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. He played
the black dude with the glasses.
Yeah, he was in Living Single. He played like the one neighbor that wanted to always fuck.
He was Overton's roommate.
Yes. But anyway, it's a 7 for me, dog. I enjoyed it quite a bit, but I will admit that, like, if I watched this by myself, stone cold sober, probably be around the Sean or Alex score. Not gonna lie. All right, whose picks next week? Alex, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. 4. I don't know.
Okay.
We're picking Final Destination. Is there a 4?
Yeah, there's 5 of them.
All right, Final Destination.
We have to watch 5.
Well, do you want to pick 5?
I guess I could pick 5.
All right, Alex picking 5.
You know what? Give me a minute. Give me
half
a second.
Is it like
5 is the NASCAR one, I think.
Well, is that a bringing the band back together movie? Do they drag everybody? Well, I guess everybody's dead, right? Never mind.
So the first one's an hour 38. The third one's
there we
an
go.
hour 33.
Smart, right here.
Fifth one's an hour. There's 6 of them.
Jesus
Christ.
But you know what? None of them are over an hour 40. So
I mean, God bless
them. None of them are over. So we got the third one has Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Ooh, like her.
The fifth one is only an hour and 22 minutes long.
Well, that might be the one then.
Or maybe that's the fourth. No, it's the fifth one.
That means the credits. It's probably an hour 10.
The fourth one's an hour 22. I'm sorry. We'll do the third one because it has Mary Elizabeth Winstead. It at least has an actress that I actually know of and know. Looking at the cast list, though, that's it. It's just her.
It's got a guy in there named. There's a member of the cast named. His legit name is Texas Battle, and his character's name is Luis Romero. And it's like,
we've seen that guy Texas Battle in something. I remember that name.
Really?
So yeah,
Texas Battle sounds like a name Gogs would come up with.
We're watching this one because this one's directed by James Wong, who directed The One.
Oh fuck!
Oh
yeah.
Okay.
So we're watching this one. Hopefully, it's
which one is it again? I'll put it on the Plex.
3.
Okay. All right,
it's
everybody.
got an actor that we know, and a director who directed a movie that absolutely slapped. So
yeah,
hopefully,
yeah.
Oh, real quick, I did have one thing I wanted to ask. When they found out that the woman being pregnant wasn't the issue, did anybody think for 2 seconds, like I did, like the girl was going to turn to the cop and be like, yo, you got to blam in me so we can make another unexpected life?
I thought as soon as Tony Todd explained it to her, I thought she was going to look at the cop and go, I need you to fucking cream pie me immediately. Yeah. But that was not the case.
I'm into that. All right. Well, that's the show. Check out the Reddit Breedable Material. That's a great Reddit you can follow. And yeah.
What?
Was that readable?
Breed.
No, breedable.
Oh.
Wait, why are you plugging that on this show?
Because they were just talking about impregnating people. I was trying to say thematic.
Because they fucking pay me every time I do it.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
And other than that, go watch Final Destination 2. I get real drunk.
Would that be, though, if it was like, yeah, you got to blam in me, and then it turns into The Road where they have to protect her for like 9 months?
You know what? That's a much better movie.
Yeah, protect her from just not dying.
Yeah, from all these like.
We didn't get into this, but I was very drunk, but I had this idea that like you do a Final Destination movie, but it's about like my life where like death just gets tired because I literally do nothing all day. Like I come back to my house and like I just jerk off and watch anime all day, and the death's like it just gets frustrated. Where
he's trying to figure out ways to kill you when you're
like,
all lubed up.
What am I gonna do to this guy? He doesn't fucking do anything. He's like, and finally, like death just dies. It's like a Garth Ennis kind of story. Yeah, death dies waiting for me to do something because I'm just so fucking boring.
I was pitching to TJ like the same thing happens, but then the guy who doesn't get killed, death decides to spare him, but then it's like notice me senpai, and he just keeps trying to get killed by death, and he just doesn't let it happen.
It's also not bad. It's like the sequel to the movie.
Yeah.
Or they realize that if they get killed, if somebody gets killed out of order, and the rest of them are fine, so they're hunting down the one guy trying to kill that person.
Good idea.
We've just come up with.
So that guy's running from them, but also death.
We've just come up with 3 better sequels.
Or like death.
It follows.
What about if death just doesn't function at all until you get it sorted out? So it's like they cut to like an abortion clinic, and they're just like, I don't know, it's just not working. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like nobody dies until they figure it out.
On pause.
Yeah.
Can we watch It Follows?
Wait, that was
that's a better version of this movie anyway.
Wait! Wasn't all death being on pause like literally a MacGuffin in either a movie or a comic book?
Preacher.
Preacher.
There was
Preacher.
There was some old
Death Takes a Holiday.
Tales to Astonish, or not Tales to Astonish. What was that old anthology show? Not old, but from like the 80s.
Amazing Stories.
Yeah, I think that one of those episodes was something like that.
I mean, if
like
you want
a guy captured death. So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Eventually, people are like coming to him, begging him to release the death so they can die because they still have all their ailments and like injuries and sicknesses and cancers, and they're like begging this guy to let death out of the bag so that they can all die.
I vaguely remember that. Yeah. Anyway, all right, that's the show. I have to pee really bad. Fuck your own ass. See you guys. Love you much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.